Today, in UFO history. The Via Santina case and the Lakenheath Bentwaters case. August 14th, 1947, Friuli, Italy. Shortly after 9 a.m., Italian artist and author Luigi Rapuzzi, pen name L.R. Johannes, is hiking along the left bank of the Torrente Chierso near Roveo, Udine, Italy. He sees a vivid red metallic domed disc on the riverbank about 165 feet ahead. It's about 33 feet wide and embedded in a cleft in the rock, about 20 feet above the stream. He sees two quote-unquote boys on the edge of a grove of trees. He shouts at them and points to the object. While walking towards them, he sees they're really short-statured people, about 3 feet tall. They wear dark blue coveralls with red collars, cuffs, and belts. Their greenish heads are clad in tight-fitting brownish caps. They approach him stiffly. He looks at them in astonishment for a few minutes, then waves his geologist's pick at them and asks where they come from. One of the entities raises their right hand to their belt. They emit a puff of smoke that knocks Rapuzzi to the ground. As he's lying there, one of them grabs his pick, and he sees their green hand has 8 claws. They climb up the rock and into the disc. It soon shoots straight out and into the open air, hovers briefly at an angle, and vanishes. Rapuzzi feels a blast of wind that blows him across the ground. His pick is gone. August 13th through 14th, 1956. U.S. Air Force tenanted RAF Bentwaters and RAF Lakenheath, England. 9:30 p.m. A blip traveling about 4,000 to 8,000 miles per hour on an east-west course is picked up on radar at RAF Bentwaters, now Bentwaters Parks, Suffolk, England. It moves in a straight line to a position about 15 miles northwest of Bentwaters. Within a few minutes, about a dozen normal targets are spotted 8 miles southwest, moving northeast at about 100 miles per hour. In front of the targets are 3 objects in a triangular formation, about 1,000 feet apart. All the targets then appear to converge into one extremely large target, several times the size of a B-36, which continues moving to the northeast, then stops for a few minutes, then resumes, and is lost to radar. The entire sighting up to this point takes 25 minutes. 5 minutes later, another solid target appears, flying east to west at 4,000 miles per hour or more, then vanishes when it moves out of range. A T-33 trainer from the 512th Fighter Interceptor Squadron, crewed by First Lieutenants Charles Metz and Andrew Rowe, is sent to investigate the radar contacts, but they see nothing. No visual sightings of the objects are made from Bentwaters in this period, with the exception of a single amber star-like object, which was subsequently identified as probably being Mars. At 10:55 p.m., another target is picked up 30 miles to the east, traveling west at 2,000 to 4,000 miles per hour. It passes directly overhead and is seen as a white light both by air and ground observers. A C-47 at 4,000 feet reports it passed underneath them. Bentwaters notifies RAF Lakenheath, also in Suffolk, about what is going on, and Lakenheath personnel see a luminous object stop, then zoom off to the east. Also, 2 white lights are seen joining from different directions, which are tracked on 2 screens at Lakenheath. According to Technical Sergeant Forrest Perkins, watch supervisor at the Lakenheath Radar Center, at midnight, Lakenheath notifies RAF Neatishead, Norfolk, that a strange object is buzzing the base. A de Havilland Venom night fighter is scrambled, directed by Neatishead Radar Controller Flight Lieutenant Freddie H.C. Wimbledon. Perkins and Wimbledon claim the jets are sent up around midnight, but the crews think it is at 2 a.m. The Venom, crewed by Flight Officers David Chambers and John Brady, from 23rd Squadron at RAF Water Beach in Cambridgeshire, now closed, finds the object on radar north of Cambridge and sees it as a bright white light which then disappears. The navigator says it is the, quote, clearest target I have ever seen on radar, unquote. The object, however, is behind the plane and stays there for some time, despite climbs, dives, and circling. Ground radar operators say that the object is glued right behind the fighter. After 10 minutes, the fighter heads back. The UFO follows briefly, then stops and hovers. Another Venom, crewed by Flight Officers Ian Fraser Kerr and Ivan Logan, is scrambled at 2:40 a.m., but experiences engine problems and aborts. Ministry of Defense officer Ralph Noyes says that one of the Venom pilots has taken a gun camera film, which was later shown at a briefing in Whitehall. The object is tracked on 2 radars, leaving the area at 600 miles per hour. The encounter is classified until the late 1960s, when the Colorado Project investigators analyze it. Gordon Thayer suggests that the, quote, apparently rational, intelligent behavior of the UFO suggests a mechanical device of unknown origin as the most probable explanation of this sighting, unquote. A later investigation is conducted by David Clark, Andy Roberts, and Jenny Randalls. In contrast to the reports given in the original classified teleprinter messages from the 39 10th Air Base Group to Air Defense Command at Ent Air Force Base 3 days after the event, and in the accounts of both Wimbledon and Perkins, the air crews now state that the radar contacts were unimpressive, and that no quote-unquote tail chase or action on the part of the target occurred. They also assert no visual contacts were made. Either Chambers or Brody comment that, quote, my feeling is there was nothing there, it was some sort of mistake, unquote. While Ivan Logan, the second Venom's navigator, states that, quote, all we saw was a blip, which rather indicated a stationary target, unquote. At the time, the 23rd Squadron decides that the radar contact had, if anything, been with a weather balloon. Martin Cho concludes that there are actually several incidents at different times and places, and that the relationship between each is unclear. Bloorb's note. This event also took place one night after the peak of the Perseid meteor shower. Observations made from multiple locations in Saskatchewan peaked on the nights of the 10th through 12th of August, but the night of the 13th through the morning of the 14th had far fewer observations. Original text and research by Jeff Knox. Check out his tweets for more. Link in the description. I'm Telesma Blooorb. Thank you for watching.